Did you know there's an island in Italy where people were sent and never came back? An island that looks quiet and peaceful from a distance, but hides one of the darkest histories in Europe. For centuries, this place was used to isolate the sick and contain deadly diseases. People were brought here with no way out, no hope of returning. And later, it became something even more disturbing. A place where people say the past never really left. No tourists stay there. No one lives there. And even today, locals avoid it completely. This is not just a story. This is Poveglia Island. And once you hear what happened there, you might understand why some places are better left alone. For centuries, Poveglia Island was surrounded by rumors, stories of sickness, isolation, and people who were sent there never to return. At first, many believed these were just exaggerated tales, but the truth is far more disturbing. Because this island was not just avoided out of fear, it was used during one of the darkest periods in human history. A place where the sick were taken, not to be cured, but to be separated from the rest of the world. A place where survival was never guaranteed. And once you arrived there was almost no way back. In the late 1700s, Poveglia Island became something far more than just an abandoned place. It became a quarantine zone. At the time, Europe was being devastated by the plague, a disease so deadly that entire cities lived in fear of it. Ships arriving in Venice were no longer trusted. Every passenger, every crew member was a potential threat. And if anyone showed even the slightest sign of illness, they were taken away, not to a hospital, not to safety, but here, to Poveglia. Thousands of people were sent to this island, left there isolated from the world, with no real treatment, no real hope, just waiting for whatever came next. There was no real treatment on Poveglia, no doctors trying to save lives, no medicine that could stop what was coming. People who arrived on the island were not expected to recover. They were sent there to be contained, to prevent the disease from spreading further. And as time passed, the number of deaths began to rise. More and more people were brought to the island, and fewer were ever seen again. It is believed that over 100,000 people died here. Their bodies were burned, buried, or simply left behind. Some historians even believe that the soil of the island is mixed with human ash, which means that even today, you are not just walking on land. You are walking on what remains of those who never left. Eventually, the plague faded, the ships stopped coming, and the island was left behind. Empty, silent, abandoned. For years, nothing happened there. Nature slowly began to take over again. Buildings started to decay. Paths disappeared under grass and time. It should have ended there, just another forgotten place in history. But Poveglia was not done yet, because years later, people returned, not the sick, not the dying, but those whose minds were already broken. And once again, the island became a place people were sent to and rarely came back from. In the early 1900s, Poveglia Island was used once again. This time as a psychiatric hospital. People with mental illnesses were sent there, far away from society, far away from help. At first, it was supposed to be a place of treatment, a place to understand the human mind. But over time, something changed. The doctors working there began to report strange things. Unexplained sounds echoing through the halls, whispers when no one was there, patients claiming they were not alone, that something was watching them, something that never left the island. And slowly, the line between reality and madness began to disappear. According to local legends, something went very wrong inside that hospital. The doctor in charge was not just treating patients anymore. He became obsessed with experiments, strange procedures that were never approved, unethical methods that pushed far beyond any limits. Patients were no longer seen as people, but as subjects. And over time, the doctor himself began to change. He started hearing voices, whispers in the walls, echoes in empty rooms. At first, he ignored them. Then he couldn't, because the voices were getting louder, and they were calling him from somewhere inside the island. The story ends in a way that only makes Poveglia even darker. One night, the doctor climbed to the top of the island's tower. No one knows exactly why. Some say he was trying to escape the voices. Others believe he was following them, standing at the edge, looking down at the island below. He made a decision and jumped, but the story doesn't end there. Because according to legend, he didn't die instantly. Some say he survived the fall, only to claim that something on the island had finally caught him. After that night, the hospital was closed, abandoned, and left to decay just like everything else on Poveglia. Today, Poveglia Island remains completely abandoned. No one lives there. No one stays. Fishermen avoid its waters. Locals refuse to go near it. And even now, boats rarely approach its shores. From a distance, it looks calm, peaceful, almost beautiful. But the truth is this island has seen too much. Too much suffering. Too much death. Too many stories that were never meant to be forgotten. So the question is, would you ever go there? Would you step onto an island where history itself feels alive? Or is this one place better left completely alone? Let me know what you think. And if you want to explore more places like this, make sure to subscribe, because the next one is even more disturbing.